by the Argentinian, Ruben Magnano. Has guided this Uruguayan squad. Helped develop a lot of youngsters along the way. On the other end, you see the Canadians. They'll want to start much better, not from an energy perspective, more so just making shots.
Just making shots, and I think you have a point of attack right away with Bautista, in the middle there, right? You want to get some pick and roll action and get downhill on him. Banton's really good at doing that, and so Trey Bell Haynes, and that's your first point of attack, right? And you didn't see the ball go in much last night against Brazil, but you want to force it and get a paint touch, get an easy layup, just see it go in to build that confidence. And one guy gets it going, the second guy gets it going, but you have a weak point there, and just, hey, ball screen action, force Bautista to play some defense, and if you can't get at the rim, you're able to attack and kick out, make some plays, and then get some easy shots, right? Work from inside out.
There's the head coach, Nathaniel Mitchell, breaking the huddle there as we are less than a minute away from tip-off. Coach Mitchell had his team focus on attacking the rim midway through yesterday's game, as they wanted to make sure that they were putting pressure on the rim. They'll be able to do that against Uruguay and should be able to take advantage of Bautista, who is, while a big body, not the quickest. Off we go from Recife, Brazil. Match day 2, third game of the day. Canada taking on Uruguay. Canada in the home white, Uruguay in the road blue. Carlin Gay alongside Trevon Shepard on the call. Thanks for joining us. Wherever you are, however you're doing so. Jalen Bab Harrison drills the three. Started the game yesterday in a similar form.
Similar, nice play. Drawn up there, getting him a corner shot, and Thomas Kennedy, a good job just making that baseline, threading the needle to him.
Bautista with the up and under.
That's a heavy load right there, right? That using the weight of the defense, spinning off and just finishing. He's good at that. Got a lock down early with him.
Bell Haynes did a terrific job on the offensive glass. The loss to Brazil. I'd like to see him add a little bit of scoring as well. Here's Young down low, 5 to shoot. Good ball movement for the Canadians. Delano Banton for 3. Can't get it to go. Flat-footed rebound for Bautista, and finds Parodi, his point guard. He dribbles up court. Parodi. Iglesias for 3. Hit the front of the rim. And it lands at the feet of Young. Kennedy with a quick post. And the chair was pulled from him by Iglesias. Retro move. Bautista on the block once again. They clear some space. Triple team. Bab Harrison ties him up to earn a jump ball. Possession arrow in favor of Uruguay, so we'll stay here.
And you could just see Canada there, the attention there. Bautista got him on the first play early off the spin. You can see him here put on the floor twice, 2 dribbles. And the double came from the baseline and the top side.
6 to shoot from Uruguay. Parodi tees up a 3 and drills it. Kennedy tried the big-to-big pass to find Young. While Batista may be the biggest player on the floor, Canada does have a little bit of a size advantage at pretty much every other position. Seuss, they lose it to their advantage as Bab Harrison now drills another three. He has all 6 points.
And that's what you want, right? Had that similar start yesterday, went cold after. Now you get 2 touches early. Knocks down the one in the left corner, knocks down this one here on the 45.
Canada shot 11% from three-point range in their loss to Brazil. Starting off much better here tonight against Uruguay and Rojas with a tough 2 inside. 7-6 to lead. There's Banton. Bell Haynes fires a pass to Kennedy. Kennedy now using the left-hand dribble. Finds Bell Haynes, who stepped out of bounds right in front of his bench.
And Uruguay just doing a good job, attention to detail, right? Going under the screens with Delano. And the second screen there on the second side there with Trey Bell Haynes going under it as well. And forcing Canada's offense to be a little bit stagnant.
Iglesias. Rojas. There's Parodi. Rejects the screen. Penetrating. Finds Batista! Esteban with a Batista bomb.
Parodi, a good job there rejecting the screen. You can see him getting to the paint. Had Chad Posamos in. And Chad was already too deep. No help to crack back on Batista. Batista, good job following the play. And again, big fella. Has some mileage on him, but still showing you can get above the rim.
Banton attacking the rim there, and he was hit. He'll earn a trip to the foul line.
See here the attack, fake to the corner there, and Trey Bell Haynes just kind of in no man's land. Couldn't really get in front of Batista with that wide body, that wide frame, and Batista it was just him in the basket at that point. Great job by Parodi identifying and recognizing him. There was nobody there, dropped it off to him.
So Milano Banton toes the line and rattles home the first free throw.
And you know what? Great to see him back out here, right? He had left the game that fourth quarter, yes, late in the fourth quarter with some cramps. Wasn't anything serious, but just seeing him back out there and seeing a number of guys go down with cramps in the heat, humidity here.
The gym is noticeably cooler this evening than it was yesterday. Of course, we had the sellout crowd of Canada playing Brazil. Jam-packed to the Raptors. This crowd still filing in for the game that will see Brazil take on Colombia after this one. Parodi over Henry Blair. Can't get it to go. Banton calls for it, dribbles up front court. Banton kicks to Henry Blair. His last touch by Uruguay. Stay here. Banton calls for the screen, gets it. That's going to be an offensive foul on Posthumous using his backside that time.
That's tough. This is his first action, right? He hasn't played yesterday. Could you see him here? His role is going to be to come in here and set really good screens and rebound the basketball. At that point, you've got to get your feet set and allow your guard to get downhill or use a screen.
Have to defend Batista here. Two big bodies banging. Batista with a little scoop pass inside.
And you can see the size difference, right? Still Batista getting it down low. And Chad is no small fry. You can see him just attacking and getting that shoulder into his chest, moving him. That's going to be a big assignment, and that's something where Chad has got to take that as his role today in this matchup.
The first of many. There's a lot of great bigs here in Brazil for this tournament. Batista is just one of them. That three by Osimani, no good. Canada in the front court. Here's Banton. Dribbling by Batista, slithering his way in. Henry Blair had to go up and catch that one. Now trying to get in his pocket. Probably had a layup opportunity that he gave up. Kennedy on his way to the rim and missed everything. Would have been a shot clock violation if it didn't go out of bounds off Canada. The team's still trying to feel each other out in the early stages here. Similar to yesterday's start for both these teams. Iglesias leaves it for Batista.
And Batista's so tough, right? When you get him in those actions and you get caught on his backside, it's hard to recover and get around. That time it was Kennedy there, and you saw Trey Bell-Haynes get caught on his backside earlier. Can't get around him, right? A lot of body, wide shoulders, wide mass.
Austin has got his own miss. Fresh 14 for Canada. Banton for three. No good. Bab Harrison trying to chase it down, kept it in play, but then is vacuumed in by Rojas. 4:30 remaining in the first period. Parodi getting into his bag here, attacking now. Kicks to Iglesias. Missed everything. And the foul is going to be called on Bab Harrison. So we'll stay here. Daniel Mitchell looking for wholesale changes as Gray will see his first action in the tournament. Pandy will also make an appearance. Kalu and Young back into the game. They join Henry Blair on the floor still for Canada. Osimani. Parodi. Step back, got his man in the air, but couldn't find space to pull the trigger. Three to shoot for Iglesias. Parodi tees up a three. Tough shot, can't get it to go. And Young clamps it down.
And Canada, a good stop there. That 2-3 zone, they're just keeping Uruguay on the perimeter and forcing a tough shot. That's what you want if you're in that zone, in that 2-3 zone.
Tough floater there by Henry Blair.
Might have been a prayer, but he got it up, right? Got it up, got it down. Want to see the ball go through the hoop.
Lead is one for Uruguay. Parodi rejects the screen once again. Now looking for help and just threw it away. Gray in the open floor. Henry Blair for three. No good. And Uruguay with a chance to run. Ahead of everybody is Batista. Rocking the rim.
And that's a tough part with early shots, right? You get an early shot, quick rebound, and somebody's going to be on the other end cherry pick. If you don't have balance on the court, that's an easy basket, easy head man the ball in the layup.
Turnover here for the Canadians. Whistle allows Washman to come in for Batista. Batista leaves with 8 points in about 7 minutes of play. Here is another look at his last dunk.
Great fast break action there. 2 passes up the court at Batista. Twice today already he's got up on the rim, right? So he still has some juice left in it, in them young legs.
It was his birthday yesterday, turning 39 years of age. Rojas for three, drills it. Pandy for three, responds.
And that play was caused by Khalif Young. Sets a good screen, dives to the basket, and forces that weak side to shrink the court. Good cross-court pass, and Pandy knocking it down.
Hands there by Henry Blair to poke it away. Turnover, Canada could tie with a three here. It's Gray with the notion. Henry Blair steps into one, left it short. Iglesias sticks a fork in it. Osimani, Washman. Parodi's three, no good. And Gray with his head up. dribbling in the front court. Now looks to put the speed on. Use the young screen. Gray open for three. Can't get the roll, and Iglesias skying for that ball. Minute 38 remaining in this first frame. Uruguay up by 3. Barodi, Watchman, missed everything. Into the game there on your screen was Joaquim Rodriguez, 14 in blue. Had a good showing in the loss to Colombia in game number 1. Putting up 7 points, dishing out 4 dimes as Gray takes it right to the cup.
And he's seen it, right? That weak side was cleared out. Everybody was above that free throw line, and good job changing pace, changing speed, going from left to right. He's a good finisher at the rim.
Barodi for 3, in and out. Kalu taps at it, somehow ends up back in possession for Uruguay. And there's Rodriguez, his first 2 of the night. A confident kid. Pandy, Rodriguez with the ball pressure. Pandy turns the corner. Rodriguez swats it, but Gray there to follow it up.
Following it up, and Gray making the most of his minutes, right? Didn't get to check into the game yesterday. He's come in a couple minutes so far and had an immediate impact. Now pressuring up the ball with Rodriguez. And this is what you need, the energy. Giving the offense, but got to give it on the defensive side as well. Doing a good job.
A 2-second differential between shot and game. Rodriguez finds a slither of hope and then got hammered by Pandy on his way to the rack. He'll go to the line for 2.
See here attacking, and you know his legs. He kind of ran out of gas there. Here you see Cadre's attack, and then just that left to right. And we've seen Jamar Waters earlier with that change of speed, and a number of guards that played in this tournament so far, how good they are at it, and you see what they do. It's almost like a running back hitting that lane. I know you're a big football guy. You've been trying to see if there's going to be some football on TVs here.
The football here is played with your feet.
American football. You're a big American football guy. But, you know, those are the type of plays that you see a lane open up, and Cadre left to right, protecting the basketball. Just reads there. That's no play drawn up. That's not looking over at your bench to see, you know, what we need to do is just, what is the defense giving me?
Kick ball on Trey Bell Haynes, so we'll stay here with 3.4 as Coach Magnano looks on. He's going to take a timeout to try and get a good look to close the court. 19-17 your score. As we close in on the end of the first quarter here at the AmeriCup in Brazil. Esteban Batista starting the game off well for Uruguay. 8 points and a rebound. And that punch is from a different angle. Nasty. Making it happen early for Uruguay. Let's see how they come out of that timeout. Coach Magnano drawing up the play. Brody. It'll be Rodriguez at the buzzer. Can't get the three to fall. That was the look they wanted, however. And that's how we'll end the first period. 19-17 your score. Uruguay in front of Canada after the first 10 minutes of play. Stats from the first quarter. Canada shooting 38% three-point range. Must feel good about seeing a couple triples drop for them. And here are the best plays from the first frame.
That was just a great draw by Coach Mitchell there, and great execution. Bab Harrison getting that shot in the corner, and this is, you know, this big fella using his experience, his body, his size, baseline, spun baseline, putting the spin cycle laundry there. Tough play under the basket, just tough, gritty play. Keeping Banton on his backside there, that extra dribble, that power dribble to give you that momentum to rise up. And then just the drop-off, like you mentioned, big fella almost taking down the rim there, following the play, trailing and keeping the defense on his back. Javon Blair just, he tossed up a prayer there, got it up. And Batista again, big fella, just showing you he has a lot of mileage, but he's still got some legs under him.
Well, a reminder, you can scan the QR code and download the Courtside 1891 app for your streams, schedules, and scores from the FIBA AmeriCup, FIBA Eurobasket, and the FIBA Women's World Cup that's coming up in a couple of weeks in Australia. Download the Courtside 1891 app today. Washman is going to have to try and fill in the shoes of Batista when he goes to the bench. You see him on your screen there. He's the lone big man that comes in consistently for Uruguay. Batista did his job to start the game, 8 points in 7 minutes. And there we see Augustin Ubal, our first look at him in this game. He had 27 big points for Uruguay. That is the tournament high so far. And with this unit on the floor, Uruguay will look to get out in the open floor a lot more than they did in the first quarter. Here's Ubal. He traveled. You question how he would come out in the second game, a young player like this, after showing out in game one. Now the scouting report's on you. How do you adjust?
And that's the thing, right? Because now your confidence is yay high, but at the same time, now your opponent has that much more information on you and how you're playing within this system. So, you know, if you're him, you're going to have to adjust to the aggression and the physicality that Canada's going to apply on him.
Bandu open for three. Can't get it to go. And Kigab was fouled underneath by Rodriguez, who acknowledges the hit. Well, Abu Kigab didn't put up a ton of points yesterday, but energy plays like this.
Energy, and you know, nothing he does, and I mentioned it yesterday, is really going to show up in the stat sheet. But he's going to energize your team, right? He's going to go out there and give you that toughness, that edge that you need. Bandu there, getting into the paint. He's just a guy that understands how to score, understands angles, gets in there off the right foot, right hand. Tough finishes, but he makes it look easy.
Ties the game at 19. There's Ubal. Can't get his first shot to fall. And then a foul is called as Washman was between three white jerseys and somehow had a chance at that offensive board. Could be Banton who had it wrapped up.
Like you mentioned earlier, a little wrestling, right?
Here's Ubal. Ceres spinning in the key, now looking for help. Washman had Banton on his back, couldn't do much.
And that's 2 plays in a row, right? You need more effort from Banton, not allowing himself to get caught on the backside of Washman there, because these guys are big, they're broad, and you know they played FIBA basketball. They understand the physicality that they can get away with.
That's a physical drive there by Banton using his left hand.
And he's good. Like, if he gets downhill, going to his right or left, that's where he's able to extend and finish at the rim. That's his comfort zone.
4 points and counting for Banton. Ceres right to the 10.
So that's a smart play there. Just continues to curl off of the pin down. Knows that he has key job behind him. Continues at the rim. Continues to the rim.
Bandu will tee up a 3. Indeed. Giving the Canadians the lead. 4th lead change of the game so far. Ball. The ball poked out of his hand by Banton. It's a great matchup between 2 young guards with a lot of promise, and Banton winning that battle that time. The ball got stripped and banged off his thigh and went out of bounds.
See Bandu here, just again, the ball goes under the screen. Kennedy sets a good one, and Bandu knows, like, I'm teeing it up, and he's a guy that shoots it, right? So it doesn't matter how many misses he's had in the last couple of games, the last couple of days. I'm going to shoot the next one.
Young couldn't control the pass and then commits the offensive foul. Referee Burns with the emphatic call. Young could only smile. That's the 6th turnover for Canada. That was a problem yesterday for them in the loss to Brazil. Really able to get into a flow. They're kind of shooting themselves in the foot.
That's a tough thing sometimes when you're not shooting the ball well. You know, these guys are competitors. They want to start to do it themselves. Right? And you put yourself in compromising positions and start turning the basketball over.
Kick out. Putting it on the deck. Now pulls. Bell Haynes inside. Kicks it out. Bandu for 3. And out. And Washman rips it out of the hands of Bell Haynes. Rodriguez. Inside, Washman. An awkward layup, but it fell.
And you said it right. He's coming in and he's giving Bautista a breather. His game is going to be a bit different. Now you see him here running, rim running. First big down the floor, or excuse me, trailing the play, but hands ready, feet ready for a finish.
8 assists in the game now for Uruguay. They're 25 points. Banton shot no good. And here's Rodriguez. Rodriguez probing. Slithering along the baseline. The ball moves it. Washman gets hit. And he'll earn a trip to the line.
And just being quicker, right? Sees the ball, moves around the horn. Washman gets in that short corner there and just sees Young retreating and attacks it, right? Draws himself a foul here. You see him trailing the play. And again, unorthodox finish like you mentioned, but the right foot, right hand, uses his back to shield and finishes.
The question we asked before the game was whether or not Washman would be able to give the same energy and effort and production that Bautista would give you. And so far, he's doing just that.
Well, I'll tell you, right, you look at the season that he's had this past season, and he had about 15 double-digit rebounding games. So that goes to show you, look, he's out there, he's active, and there's a role for him. So is he going to give you what Bautista may? No, he doesn't have that body, doesn't have that size, may not have the offensive skill set, but there's things that he does and does well.
Does not shoot free throws well, though. That is one thing that he has struggled with. So it remains on 4 points, trying to get 5 here. Second one, much better form, and splashes through. 2-point lead for Uruguay. Blue into the game for Canada, number 1 in white. Here's Banton. Finds Kennedy inside with a slick pass.
Banton's shot not dropping, that's what he does, right? Get that double drag, get that stagger away, gets back the ball in that ball screen action, and finds Kennedy with that wraparound pass.
Ball watched by Banton. Ball finds Washman. And another awkward layup by Washman. He gets bumped by Kennedy, and he'll go back to the line for more free throws.
I mean, that awkward finish seems to be working for him, right? Catches it here, and I don't know if he's trying to avoid Rodriguez or Kennedy here, but here you see a nice drop off, and Kennedy with good hands between traffic, but a great wraparound pass by Banton there. You wanted free throws, right?
As I said, Kirill Washman, a terrific free throw shooter.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. And let me guess, I'm the one that said he's the horrible one.
Barely made the rim on the second. Keeps the lead at 1 for Uruguay. That was a 4th team foul, by the way, for Canada. The next one will put them in the bonus, or the penalty, rather. And Banton sits.
Padre Gray checking back in. He had played some minutes early and impactful minutes of that with his time. 4 minutes, 4 points, 1 rebound, 1 steal.
Definitely some contagious energy that fed the rest of the team. Feels like this team needs a spark here. Bell Haynes. Matt Harrison already has 2 threes so far. And Pena knows that, so he was all over him. Good hands there by Rodriguez. Ceres. Almost with the around-the-world layup. Trey Bell Haynes with the hustle play went crashing into the LED boards. He seems to be okay.
And Trey Bell Haynes, you know that's a makeup foul there. He made a bad pass, just couldn't get it over the hands of Rodriguez and turned over the ball, live ball there. And Uruguay gets out to the other side. You appreciate that effort, right? Because he's coming back, he's not giving anything easy. Ceres there with the up and under little circus shot. But if you're Coach Nat Mitchell, yeah, that you have one of your guards, your main guards, primary guards, turn over the basketball, but he's the first person down the court to try and make up for it.
And Bell Haynes sitting next to Scott Morrison, getting coached up right now. Just under 5 to play in the first half. Canada in the penalty the rest of the way. They're down 3 as Henry Blair being pounded by Rodriguez. Great. Pocket pass, Kennedy skying to the hoop.
Great decision there. Just getting that little pocket pass, and Kennedy doing a good job just gathering himself. And, you know, not to mention, Kennedy's still in university, right? So you talk about a kid that has a high ceiling. Coming out here and playing as physical as he is, mixing up with those trees.
Washman touched it last, so will go the Canadians' way. They have a chance to regain the lead here. And we'll get a chance to look at the great pass.
Good job there, just pocket pass. And Thomas Kennedy, eyes on the prize. He collects the basketball. You just see him gather strong between everybody and finish.
Timeout on the floor, 4:15 remaining in the first half. Canada stuck one.
passes you, go set that right there. You're going down. No, you got to set the flare for Jaden. You're attacking, going to the middle. You're rolling out. You got him on the flare. Okay? Let's go.
Canada on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Canada. Let's go. Let's go. You said I'm pass it right here.
Great to see the youngsters out here in Recife enjoying some international basketball. And they're seeing some energy from that man right there, Dre Gray. Canada down by 1 with 4:15 to play here in the second quarter. Second game for both of these teams. Both of them coming off of losses. Canada losing to Brazil on match day 1 yesterday. And Uruguay giving up a 9-point lead heading into the fourth quarter. They allowed a 16-0 run, loss to Colombia. Trying to avenge that loss here this evening. That ball last touched by Ceres. Stay right here with 16 ticks on the shot clock. And that will allow Batista to check back into the game. And Washman should get a nice hand from his bench for the effort he provided, spelling Batista and allowing him to get the extended rest. Henry Blair will inbound the ball. Henry Blair has space to tee up a 3 and drills it.
He knew it, right? Dribbling to his right hand and Batista just sinking into the paint. Like we mentioned earlier at the open, he's not going to want to come out there and play any defense. You're Javon Blair, right? That's a perfect opportunity to see a good one go up, take a good one, and knock it down.
And they're shooting 42% from three-point range. Much better than what we saw from them yesterday. Kalu's going to get called for the foul. That was a cheapie.
So that's good job catching, just a great job cutting, right? And catching the defense by surprise, and now the defense is running up, trying to recover. That's the thing, you get to your position, establish your position early. At that point you have the defense in recovery mode, and here Henry Blair just getting off, and anytime you see a guy hop on that 1 foot with that follow-through stuff, you already know in his head he's counting, he sees it, it feels good, he knows it's going down. It's that bop, when you see that bop out, the shoulders start to shrug, you start feeling good about yourself.
A little bit of swagger.
That's a swagger.
That's when he goes from Javon to Juggy. Best knocks down the first free throw.
It's amazing how much of this game is more confidence and swag and energy than it is the X's and O's and the tactical side. You know, that to me is more for the last 4 minutes of the game when you need execution from your coach. But the rest of that game is, you know, who's going to be the more confident team out there?
Bab Harrison back in the game for Canada. Gray on the block. It's Banton for 3, too strong. Kennedy pulls down the board. Batista reached over his back and thought he had banged it off of Kennedy's arm. Kennedy now asking why there wasn't a foul call. We'll stay here with 10 seconds to shoot. Before the ball could even be inbound, the foul is going to be on Osimani. So his first foul, second team foul. Bandu will check in for Bab Harrison. There's Banton. Henry Blair. 7 to shoot. Blair feeling it. Gray. Back to Blair. Drills another 3.
And Blair had no choice but to make that shot. Dancing a little too much with the ball earlier, and then just toss it over to Cadre Gray like hot potato. Gray making a great play, a good play rather, just tipping it back to him, relocating.
Canada locking in defensively now. Batista with the Scoop pass. Ceres tosses it up as the shot clock almost expiring. And Gray tapped it to Kennedy and now runs the floor with Kennedy. Good hands. Osimani, buckle up. Turns the corner now, and he's fouled. He's got his foot on the gas pedal now, does Javon Henry Blair. He had 2 threes. Here's the second. That's one of those, no. Yes.
No. Yes, great shot. Great shot. Take the next one.
Just like you drew it up. 2 fouls on Osimani now. That's the 13th foul for Uruguay. Come on, Henry Blair. A true pro now. Young guards in Canada. Coming up through the high school system, was able to go to the Jordan Brand International game and win MVP there. A lot of talent on the floor. Had a 4th quarter explosion. It was big in closing time, and added to the list of Canadians who have won that award, including Andrew Wiggins and Jamal Murray. Both of those guys in the NBA won NBA champion.
That's not bad company.
Not at all.
Not bad company to be.
And he picks up the foul there, as Parodi tricked them into reaching it. And Parodi will toe the line for 2 free throws. 1:51 remaining in this first half. Luciano Parodi, 3-time Uruguayan League champion, won in 2012, 2016, and 2017. Was the Uruguayan League MVP in 2016 and Finals MVP the same year. Played for Wolfsburg last year in Germany in the BBL. Averaged 8 points, 4 dimes. Call it 5 because it was really 4.5.
But the bigger part to that was he's one of those guys that shot 50%, 40%, and 80 from the floor, right? So not only was he impactful with influencing the game, but efficient.
Gray flashing just when Canada needed him. He's able to put it in.
Just planted his feet, rose up into his jump shot there. You could just see how confident he was getting up into it.
Playing well after not playing at all in game number 1. Banton, what a save. Bandu's gonna have to do the same. Look at Canada with the hustle, and it lands to a highlight for Kennedy. Kennedy now with 6. Another turnover. Canada looking to get in the open floor. Banton. Henry Blair for 3. Indeed. Took an extra long look at it. Saw it splash through.
What I tell you, as soon as a guy gets that ball up, and he holds that follow through and starts to bop, gets that trot going backwards. He was already looking at us before that ball went down. You see here the hustle Bandu, the toss behind his back, and then Kenny running the floor up, and a nice little cock back, cocking it down.
feels it right now. We heard the spirited timeout for Uruguay. See if it fires them up to try and close this half with some momentum. A little pressure shown by Canada. That takes away the 2-for-1 opportunity for Uruguay. Parodi threw it at the knee of Batista. He had to go down and get it, still did. And then fending off Kennedy. Kennedy has an argument there as Batista uses off arm to kind of stiff arm him away from contesting the shot.
And you can see the smirk on Batista's face. He knows he may have got away with one. In Uruguay in that zone right now. 2-3 zone.
Henry Blair, deep three. Can't get it to go. Kigab tapped it out. Kennedy at the buzzer, can't get that to fall, and that's how we'll end the first half. Well, Uruguay came out with a lot of energy to start. Canada responded, led by Javon Henry Blair, and we'll head to half with Canada leading 42-37 here at the AmeriCup. Shooting numbers for both teams. Canada shooting 44% from three-point range. 10 assists for Canada, 13 assists for Uruguay. The ball movement been incredible on both sides. Batista leads away with 10 points. Henry Blair, highest scorer in the game so far with 12. Best plays from the second quarter. Here they are.
See the big fella here, and it started out again, that kick to the corner, and that's how this game got started. You wanted more shooting, you got it. And then Batista here, similar play with the finish, rolls himself baseline, and nice finish, nice touch. And Parodi just understanding and knowing where his big is after setting the screen, dropping it down to him. Javon Blair, he came off the bench, was big for Canada. Part of, the big part of the reason why they had so much bench production. Batista again, running. Low on the feet, but still getting above the rim. May have fingertipped it, but listen, 2 is 2. Washman there getting Banton on his backside, and something you got to avoid. Again here, just finishing through. So that's pin down action and just curling to the basket. Great read, and just knowing that Kigab is on his backside there, and just laying it up with his left. Coach Mitchell there did a good job. He's giving his team some instruction and him Banton, right? Always good when he's getting downhill, but a great job with the wrap pass there. And Kennedy, great screen, rolling to the basket, eyes on the prize, the concentration to catch, the finish. And then Cadre Gray, nice pocket pass again. Another reason, Canada's had 25 points off of their bench tonight, which has been a big help. Talk about the depth. Cadre, Gray, and Javon Blair have been the big reasons for that. Kennedy there, manning the paint.
It's all been about this man right here, Henry Blair, who has a game-high 12 points as he found his touch from three-point range. We'll leave you with the rest of the highlights here from the first half. And be back with second half action. You're watching the FIBA AmeriCup 2022 here from Brazil. Canada up 42-37 over Uruguay. time does complete the dunk. Large deficit for Uruguay as they come out of the timeout. Parodi blocked by Echenique, and he kept it in bounds.
Hey, you wanted to see more, right? He's showing it to you. He's showing it to you now.
Sits high and rocks the rim.
Good find by Gutierrez.
Short two-man game. Materol inside. What a find by Betancourt. Rodriguez uses the Bautista screen. Good defense there by Roque. 5 to shoot on the clock. Rojas knocks down the first triple of the tournament. McCaw, Sword, hammer time. See just how fast they can strike. Huertas showing the handle. Oh, the feed. Felicio counted. And the foul.
Felicio again, right? The beneficiary. He's got to look at Huertas and say, look.
Here's Stoll. Gave it right to Sword. Opportunity for Sword to sky, and he does. Great jab. Gaskins. Oh! Romero rises up and punches it home.
Gaskins again, like rejecting the screen there. And Romero played a bit with him. Just knows he's going to attack. Just look above the rim, and Romero, nice finish.
Young skying in and throwing it down. Khalif Young rocking the rim here in Recife. Back we are here in Brazil. A reminder, you can scan the QR code, download the app. Courtside 1891 streams, schedules, and scores from this event, the AmeriCup Eurobasket, that is going on right now. And the Women's World Cup coming up in Australia in a couple of weeks. Download the app, Courtside 1891. Fans, young and old, having fun here in Recife, Brazil. It's not every year that you get to see a top FIBA competition come to your city. Recife has been an incredible host 2 days into this tournament. Still got over a week of basketball action before we crowned a champion. Banton, quiet first half. It does have the ability to explode in a quarter. Was Javon Blair, who played well in that first half, leading all scorers with 12 points. 42-37 your score. Third quarter underway. Uruguay in the row blue, Canada in the home white. Rodriguez showing you the bag.
That's tough. That is tough coming out of the half. He came out with a purpose. Just put Bab Harrison, just dragged him in that behind the back there and just sidestepped into his three.
Bell Haynes. Banton from the corner for three. Indeed.
That's the one he needed to see go down, right? A good ball screen action there, and Rojas too deep tagging, and Trey Bell Haynes a good find in the corner, and you'd like to see Banton get up confidently and take that. He has the ability to do it and open up so much for his game.
Rodriguez fires a pass inside to Ceres, counted and the foul, and Rodriguez is fired up.
He's fired up, he's ready to go right out the half.
Didn't start the game, but came off the bench and played well enough that Coach Magnano said, you know what, go ahead and start the second half for us, and you see why. Ceres trying to complete the old-fashioned three-point play. Sometimes you need that youthful exuberance that.
That's a different type of energy. It's a different type of fight, right? Because you're fighting for minutes. You're fighting to make a case for yourself, and I'm sure Ubal on the bench there would love to be out there and do the same, right? And the young guys, young energy hits different.
Here's Rodriguez on the rock again. Look away pass inside the Batista, almost turned it over, but they're going to call a foul on Canada. It's on the floor.
Did you see there? Rodriguez just dragging Bab Harrison behind the back there. Great play, and here's the corner three by Banton there. Great cross-court pass.
Bab Harrison with the shove on Parodi. It's going to be Bab Harrison's fourth foul. He's had a tough night. It's already the third team foul for Canada in this quarter. Not even 2 minutes into it. Parodi. Bandu replaced Bab Harrison. Look at Rodriguez drilling the three.
And there's a good read, behind the flare there. Defense got caught behind, and he tees it up and lets it up.
Giving Uruguay the lead. Bandu trying to get it back for Canada. Left it short. We'll go the other way. There's a confirmation on your screen of Bab Harrison with his fourth foul. You see him on the bench. Hasn't been able to get into a rhythm. Batista wanting it. The double comes. Parodi over his head to Rodriguez. Rodriguez drives inside. Feeds Batista. Joaquim Rodriguez putting on a show early in the third.
And he, it was him did the same thing with Ubal yesterday. You could just see him here picking it up himself, just making plays, cutting, making passes. And again, you talked about that youthful energy. You could just see it permeating throughout his team.
Banton. 3 to shoot. Banton, good hesitation. finds Kennedy inside, and a foul before the shot clock violation will send Kennedy to the line. That man has provided this game with a spark. And now, like a true vet, arguing the call for his team. One thing you said that stuck out to me yesterday about Ubal and Rodriguez is that no one really speeds them up. You saw that on that last possession. Could have taken that three, but decided to turn it down and get a better shot.
Just great decisions, right? And you got to be impressed with that with guys that are that age. You know, Rodriguez being 23 and Ubal being 19. Usually they're the ones that are playing fastest, and you got to kind of tell them to slow down and make the right decisions.
Here's Rodriguez now, trying to penetrate on the Canadian zone. Behind the back to Ceres, a little too much now.
I spoke too soon. That's one of the ones, a little bit too much emotion there behind the back and just zipped it out of bounds, and that's
smiling about it, but Coach Magnano, who's staring in his direction, is not.
And you just don't look at the coach. you don't look. And you can hear the coach calling your name, just pretend that you can't hear a thing.
2-point lead for Uruguay. So we approach the 7-minute mark here in this quarter. Banton. Stolen out of his hands. Rodriguez up to Rojas. Rojas attacks. Can't get it to go as Kalu will vacuum it in. Bandu showing the handle. Banton for three. Can't get it to go, and Batista clears. Rodriguez says, hey, let's slow it down. 5 on the floor for Uruguay. Batista, Parodi, Rodriguez, Rojas, and Ceres. This is Rodriguez. Behind his back to Parodi for three. Only white jerseys around the rim to collect the rebound. Bandu, Banton, Bell-Haynes, Kalu, and Young, the 5 on the floor for the Canadians. Bell-Haynes, good hesitation dribble, and then ran into traffic. Look out, here comes a Batista bomb. Points and counting for Batista, giving Uruguay a 4-point lead. Banton runs into the Batista wall. The foul is called. Rojas can't believe it. Said, I'm the one that got hit in the face. How am I the one that ends up with the foul?
See Batista now. You mentioned that Batista bomb, and that's the dangerous thing about them is that he's gassed, right? You can see him holding his knees and sucking wind right now. If you're Canada, you got to see that. You got to identify that and attack. And whether you're looking at the post, forcing him to work or getting him in ball screen actions, but want him to work more because probably not in the best shape right now and exerting a lot of energy a couple times playing above the rim. Maybe a little too much.
That's Bell-Haynes over on the bench. His head down. And because of the shot to facial area, we'll go over to see a review to see if this is unsportsmanlike. Let's listen in.
Act of violence because we have one player with blood in the face. No, give me the main camera, okay? The main camera. The main camera.
I think that's just a common foul there. Nothing ill-intended.
I know con angle. It's the main camera, no camera number 1.
Just an attack there, and Banton is wiry, right? He may have just caught him under the eye or something there.
¿Lo están buscando? Okay. No,
I just think it's a basketball play.
Yeah, it's a basketball play, basketball movement. So okay. Watch out.
2 shots to 45.
Okay, 2 shots on the 45. We stay like normal. Okay. Thank you.
So there you hear the officials.
Un acto de movimiento del...
It is going to be a common foul. 2 shots for Alana Banton. If there's one person on the floor that enjoyed the fact that the referees used the time to review that play, it was Esteban Batista, because as you mentioned, he had his hands on his knees while lining up for the free throw as Banton misses the first.
And now I think Coach Nate Mitchell recognized that, and you brought in the big fella, Chad Paulson, was go down there and wrestle with him a bit, right? Tussle with him a bit and force him to work.
Batista fires it up. Rodriguez was cherry picking on the other end. Canada falling asleep after the free throw. Henry Blair wanted the horn set and killed his dribble in an awkward area. Banton bailed him out. Massimus sets the screen. Pass goes awry, and then it lands and ends up being a shot clock violation, as Bandu did not notice time in possession. Dre Gray back into the game for Canada. Good showing in the first half for me.
Great showing in limited minutes, and just did a good job of playing with the ball, playing off the ball, making some good decisions as well. And show some effort defensively, right? That's what you want for a guy that's coming off the bench and going to play limited minutes, is do it on both sides.
Batista. Parodi tried the no-look jump pass. Rodriguez, not a lot of time to work with. Tossed up the 3 and got it to fall. And sticks his tongue out afterwards and says, I am him. 14 and counting.
And that was the behind the back again, right? Just lulling the defense to sleep behind the back. And kept that ball alive in that left hand and rose up. And so did that man right there. Get to his left, left step in, right foot, rather.
Sometimes he flashes so much talent.
Yeah.
Just looks so good. That was a pure shot.
Because you look at what he's doing at his size, right? And you're thinking, okay, he gets up into his shots and elevates. Chad falls asleep there on the backdoor cut. Came up, got lucky on that one. You look at his size and what he's able to do, and you're saying the sky's the limit for this kid.
Banton wants to go one-on-one on Ceres. Feels like he has a mismatch. Getting into his bag now. Banton can't get it to go. He stepped out of bounds before finding Gray, and it will go the other way. Roas checks back into the game for Uruguay, and he's taped up, sporting a bandage underneath his left eye. Here's Rodriguez's last toss-up.
And he knew it, right? As soon as that ball goes up, he already started that home run trot that I keep talking about. Once you get into that trot, just count the basket, get back on D.
He picked the ball up in an awkward area and wasted a good amount of time on the shot clock. This could be a good defense possession for Canada. But they fall asleep, leaving Ceres open for 3. No good. Banton gets past Rodriguez. Banton, that's where he's dangerous. Can't get the floater.
May have missed Blair there at the 45.
Definitely had tunnel vision on that drive. Here's Batista slithering along the baseline and rejected by Postumus. Gray will run. And he's fouled by Roas. Weren't expecting much from Chad. Gave you a little bit of, get out of here. Foul in the open floor. Those wondering why that wasn't unsportsmanlike, he did try to play the ball. At least he acted like he was going to play the ball. 3rd foul for Rojas. Saw the bandage there that he's sporting underneath his left eye after he got cut. Javon Blair back into the game for Canada, and right off the bench, back onto the score sheet.
And a great job attacking to his left, but Chad is the one that created that play, right? Just boxing out and clearing that space, clearing that lane for him. run through like a running back and finishes the layup. Not going to show up on the score sheet, but still deserves credit on that one.
Parodi left it short, tried to guide it in with his hips. And then a foul as Washman, who's into the game now, just so active on the offensive glass. Here it is.
Here you see the attack, and then Chad just squaring up and getting his shoulders and his body into Washman there, and Javon Blair just opens up the lane. You got to come back down. You got to let your big fella know. I appreciate it.
Rodriguez slipped on a wet spot. He was looking to go back door and go for the alley-oop. And then Parodi turns it over on the travel.
And, you know, another big-time play by Cadre, getting in and fighting over the screen, not dying on the screen. And what does he do? He gets back in front of the defense there and allows his big to retreat. At the same time, causes some disruption and forces a turnover, a travel.
Well, Augustin Ubal into the game, a quiet first half after exploding yesterday in the game against Colombia. And 27 big points, that is the tournament high so far. For nothing from him in this game against Canada. Blair, jab step, pulls for three, he's still hot. Thought he got fouled on his elbow. Back to a one-point game. It's not Ubal's night. The ball going right through his hands and out of bounds.
It's not his night, but at the same time, you see Blair here getting the shot up and may have got touch on the elbow. If I'm Ubal, I am going to think about it. You know, my coach has sat me for a good portion of this game, coming off a big game yesterday, and you know you got to put yourself in the shoes of some of these players too. They're humans. You know, there's the psychological aspect. Guys want to be out there playing and competing. Obviously, we don't know the full story, but he's one of the guys that I would want on the court.
Great. Left his feet, found Kennedy on the inside, and Kennedy missed it. The ball doing a good job to spin away from the defense and then avoided the charge as Gray was waiting for him, inviting him to crash into him. Parodi crossing over on Kennedy. And he'll go to the line for two. That's just a tough play for Kennedy to have to be involved in.
Tough, because Kennedy's so high on that ball screen action there. And Parodi, small, is able to snake it back. And as soon as Kennedy's hands came across the body, you know, he's attracting the ball. He's locking him in. But that's if you're a coach, you also want Kennedy at that line of the screen, doing a good job of just moving his feet. Parodi just quicker, and that gap, that sliver right there, that gap, is able to get to it, going from his left to his right.
Kennedy could figure out how to stay in front of guards while coming that high on the screen. He's going to make a lot of money playing this game. Brody cashes in second free throw. Back to a three-point game. Henry Blair. Gray sees an opening. Got too cute trying to find Kigab on the drive. Probably should have took the layup there. Luckily for him, it stays on this side. It was last touch by Uruguay, 11 on the shot clock for Canada to work with. 106 to play here in the third quarter. Canada looking to close the third. Some energy and momentum. That's why Kigab in the game, and so is Gray. And those two guys like an energy drink. But that's a bad pass as Parodi in the open floor. Missed the layup. Ubal down low. Good footwork by the youngster to put it in.
If you're that youngster, Ubal, I'm sending a message to my coach. You know, you sat me too long. I need to be out here. It's plays like those. You got to come out here, be tough, be gritty.
Henry Blair for three. He's cooled off now. Being red hot in that first half and starting second stint here in the third quarter. The same mentality. I'm going to get buckets. Parodi turns the corner on Kennedy. Parodi, wild shot, probably ill-advised. And Kigab pulls down the rebound, and that It's a fourth team foul for Uruguay. 16.2 to play. Canada could hold for the last look.
Brody here just pushing it. You can see, tricked it off. There's a young bull following it up. It's nicked on the head there. And see the emotion from the bench, the fire.
Back into the game for Canada. Hasn't scored yet. Looking for his first three on this attempt. Can't get it to go. Iglesias pulls down the rebound, and then Kigab gets called for the foul. And that will send him to the line. It's a poor foul there by Kigab. Kigab's first foul in the game. Iglesias knocks down the first free throw. Seven-point game. Henry Blair from deep and missed everything, and that's how we'll end the third quarter. So after 30 minutes, Uruguay working on a little bit of an upset here. 61-54 over Canada. Best plays of the third quarter, Javon.
Dragging him, and you can see it here. Rodriguez just getting to his flow. That was the second one he hit like that. And you can just see that trot, that nice trot. And then you know, like I'm kissing it, I'm feeling good. And then that no look there to the corner. And Rodriguez again penetrating. Batista just following it up and seeing where the basket is. And just great cuts. Finishing at the basket there. And Rodriguez again he showed you three earlier, just showing you a touch pass now. Batista again the beneficiary, head man the ball, and big fella playing above the rim. It cost him a bit. He was gassed the next play down, but good play there. Banton knocking down a free throw, but that was a timely play, costly play. Batista beat with the heady play, just tossing it up the court. We talked about the home run trot, but then you see Rodriguez with the tongue out. That's a whole different level. That's a different beast.
A reminder, scanning that QR code gets you directly to your app store to download Courtside 1891. Streams, schedules, scores from the AmeriCup, Eurobasket, and the upcoming FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup from Australia. Courtside 1891 has everything you need for international basketball. Ubal hasn't been able to get going the same way he did in the loss to Colombia. Been held in check so far by the Canadians, just 2 points in 8 minutes. But his team up by 7 as we start the fourth quarter. Trey Bell Haynes on the floor for Canada. Alano Banton, Javon Henry Blair, Thomas Kennedy, and Khalif Young, the 5. For the red and white. Here's Kennedy. Banton was held on his cut attempt by Osimani. And if that's on Osimani, that is his third foul and an early first team foul for Uruguay. To be side out, 14 on the clock. Iglesias, Osimani, Barodi, Ball and Washman, the 5 on the floor for Uruguay. Bell Haynes, another foul called. And on the same possession now, 2 quick team fouls. Uruguay has to be careful here. They don't want to get into the bonus too early. Osimani with back-to-back fouls. That is foul number 4 for him. He's going to check out for Rodriguez. So finally we see the backcourt of Rodriguez and Ubal that was so impressive in their loss to Colombia. A 5 on the floor now for Uruguay. Would love to get out in the open floor and run. They need to get stops to do so. Bell Haynes looking for help, finds it in Henry Blair. Henry Blair passes inside. Thomas took the contact and finished over Washman. Iglesias. Wow wants it. Banton watching him. Rodriguez was left alone, and now Young has to guard him. Oh, that's pretty.
That's just a tough finish, and it makes it so hard because he can really shoot the ball right, so you have to close out on him hard. He gets into the paint and just extends, and then nice finish, nice roll. He's looking at the ref and he's just pleading with the ref right now. I need one foul, just one.
Ball picks up the foul there as he grabbed Delano Banton when he tried to turn the corner. Now 3 fouls, team fouls that is, for Uruguay. They should have picked up the 4th there. Whistle stayed silent. Rodriguez has a little bit more pep in the step. Iglesias for 3, rattles it home.
Iglesias knocking it down, but it's Rodriguez. He's wreaking so much havoc there, getting off that ball screen, and because he's demanding so much attention, you know what, now he's picking apart with his pass.
10-point lead, Young inside, and he got hammered. The 4th team foul for Uruguay that will send Khalif Young, who has been relatively quiet this evening, to the line.
Banton threading the needle there, and he knows how to get the ball there to spots. Guys got to start finishing as well. The more guys finish, we're able to come up with plays and make big plays. Now that opens up lanes for him as well. Because the next time, if you're a big stepping up, you're more conscious. Now you're getting back to your man, and Banton has a lane to finish. Same thing that Uruguay is doing on their offensive side, except Rodriguez is now not dropping it down low, but he's kicking it out for guys to make threes, and they're not apprehensive, they're not reluctant to shoot the ball, they're letting it go.
Kadre Gray's energy forces a turnover in the backcourt. See if Canada can capitalize on that misplay from Uruguay. Banton crossing over, crashing into the defense. Follow is his own. Softly deposits it in the net.
Fakes the handoff there, gets to the basket, but he's so long that he doesn't even have to get on that second jump to get his own board, and just knows where it is, touching it in.
Parodi. Tough pass to Washman. He did a great job of catching it and then trying to stay in bounds. Ubal could not stay in bounds, and that is another turnover. So back-to-back turnovers forced by this Canadian defense. And after being down by 10 just moments ago, we'll try and chip away at it. Let's take a look at that last bucket from Banton. Back to live action, Bell Haynes. Gray uses the Young screen. Gray try to knock the jumper down. Bell Haynes with the offensive rebound. Henry Blair for 3.
Bang, bang. That's what you want, right? Offensive rebound, everybody's in the paint. Kick out, open 3, Blair, rhythm shot, knock down a couple early.
7-0 run from Team Canada. Gets them back within 3. Rodriguez wanted it back and finally gets it back on the return. Now gets into his pocket, and Gray fouls him on the reach-in. The feet were correct, the hands were not.
see the look in here. You see Blair getting up into that shot there, good kick out, the rhythm shot. But you look at Rodriguez, right? You just look into his eyes, look how poised he is. Right now, he's in a battle, right? You just look at his demeanor, and you know he's fierce. You know he's intense. You know he's a competitor.
Runs to the ball to start this possession. Batista back into the game, set the heavy screen, and then Rodriguez banks it in.
Yeah, he's in his duffel now. He's in a big bag.
Henry Blair for three again. Was following it because he thought he was going to miss when it went through. It's that kind of night. Ball. Floater. Can't get it to go. Ray got it off the ricochet. Canada could tie with a three. It's Henry Blair looking for it. It's an air ball. The heat check is in order for Henry Blair. There's Bandu saying, hey, shoot the next one. The ball leaves the game. He's giving high fives. You can see in his face, he's not impressed. Slamming things on the bench outside of camera. Meanwhile, it's Batista on the block. Trying to go to work on Young. The double comes. Batista inside Rojas. Left it short right on the doorstep. Henry Blair in front of everybody. Finds Banton. Tough layup. That's a blocking foul, so he'll go to the line for two. Banton again grabbing at that left half. We saw him experiencing a bit of cramping yesterday in the loss to Brazil. He's going to take the long walk. Try to stretch things out here before he goes to the free throw line for these foul shots. Talked about the importance of these types of tournaments when you're playing so many games in such a short period of time and taking care of your body. Uruguay is arguing that there shouldn't have been a bucket because there was a tip after the Banton miss. The officials counted the foul, counted the bucket after the blocking foul, thinking that it was an and one opportunity. And Canada might win this war here and get some points. Uruguay not letting it happen. A technical foul now called. Wow. Falling apart here for Uruguay. And to be honest with you, I sympathize with them because they were right. The Banton layup missed. It was tapped in after. The officials saying and one.
May have a case.
All Uruguay saying, hey, go to the monitor and look at it. The referee saying no. We say that it's and one, and by the way, hold this technical foul. So here's Henry with a chance to tie the game, misses it, and as they say, the ball don't lie. Austin is back into the game for Canada, 22 and white. Khalif Young will sit. Now we'll get the Banton free throw. With a bit of a gift here. Banton at the line. Looking for point number 13, and he gets it. Scores table blowing for a potential timeout. We're going to play on. Coach Magnano saying he canceled the timeout, so we'll play on here in the fourth quarter, 5:36 in a tie game. Canada was down by as many as 10 to start the period. Went on a 7-0 run to chip away, and then kind of got a little bit of a gift here on an and one from Banton, and that's why we're tied up. Batista's double teamed. Gray read that pass. Bosimus saved it right to Rodriguez. Rodriguez, nice pass to Parodi, straight on three, in and out. And Gray jumping over everybody to vacuum that in. A chance for Canada to take the lead as we approach the halfway mark here in the final frame. It's Banton. Bell Haynes. This is the Bosimus screen. Bell Haynes for three. Left it short. Iglesias hands it to Rodriguez. Batista is down low. He was all alone, swinging his arms up. Now frustrated that he did not get the ball. Rodriguez doing a lot of dribbling on this possession. Attacks again. Rodriguez, tough layup attempt, tried to find the glass, can't get it to go. Banton in the open floor, and he's fouled, and that will be the 15th foul that put Uruguay in the penalty. So Banton now getting some free throws for his efforts.
And again, this is, you get Banton in that open court. He's so dangerous. He's deceivingly fast. And once he gets those wheels moving, you see him here, that calf is still tightening up on him. Contraction there, but he gets them wheels moving, right? He can really handle the basketball, make decisions, and get downhill on you. Has a defense at his mercy. And it'll be interesting now. We've seen, you know, in the earlier game, Tremont Waters had stepped up when it was winning time. You know, Puerto Rico just said, put the ball in his hands and said, figure it out. Now, these two teams locked at 69, 4.5 minutes to go. Who's going to step up for either one? And who do you trust? And who do your teammates trust? We've seen that earlier. Puerto Rico trusted Tremont. They gave it to him, and everybody just carried out and followed his lead.
1 point lead as Banton splits the free throws, leads to a timeout on the floor. Let's listen into the Uruguayan huddle. So 4:26 remaining in the game. Javon Henry Blair, coached up as he leaves the huddle. High man with 23 points, 2 assists. Doing a lot of his damage from three-point range, but here he is attacking the rack.
Got a light jab step there, getting the defense off and getting up into a shot. Here, puts it up. You know, probably felt like he was going to go drop short, but he was following up and knocked it down. Sometimes you have those days. That basket just seems to widen up.
Well, both these teams a little bit young and inexperienced at this level. Who closes in these moments? Parodi drills a big-time three. Uruguay want to have to play defense here on this possession and not foul. Henry Blair. Good skip pass. Gray steps into one and drills it. Ties the game at 72.
He came to play. And you're talking about, you know, game time, winning time. You want the best player on your team to step up and be the best player on the floor, and that's when you have a big chance of winning. That's what it's supposed to be.
Rodriguez dragging that pivot foot. It's called for the travel. Coach Mitchell calls timeout with the game tied at 3:30 remaining in the fourth period. And an opportunity to listen in to Coach Mitchell in his huddle for Team Canada.
Okay, Delano. No, Khalif, you're here. Delano, you're here. Okay, the last guy on the floor is Kadre. You gotta make this play, man. Okay, Trey, you're gonna zipper up Juggy. Throw it to him. Khalif, you got 3 screens. Pin down, right? Delano's coming off. Juggy, throw it to him. Back screen, flare. Khalif. Okay, Trey, coming down. Zipper.
Roger, you're right here.
Delano, Kadre, you're coming up the pin down. Yes, yes, and then Khalif, back screen, flare. Okay, let's go.
Here, Canada leaving the huddle saying execute. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from Rodriguez, who has had a night for Uruguay. 19 points, 5 assists, and he's been the spark plug for this team tonight. All right, 3:30 remaining in the game. Both these teams looking for their first win here at the AmeriCup in Brazil. Canada lost to Brazil last night. Uruguay blew a lead, losing to Colombia. They're trying to avoid blowing the second lead in a row. Hold off the Canadian comeback. Gray, the extra pass. Banton from the corner, can't get it to go. Belhanes underneath, finds the rebound. And a fresh 14 for Canada. Gray getting into his bag, pulls up, drills it. And you laugh because it's been that type of night for Gray.
He's just feeling it, man. And, you know, coming into this thing, his role is supposed to be limited, but here he is. He's carved out a niche for himself. He's come out, and you know he's going to be playing minutes the rest of this tournament.
Not only that, but playing closing minutes for Coach Mitchell here.
And that's the important part, right? It never matters who starts the game. It doesn't matter who plays the most. But it's about who's ending the game, who's closing the game for you. And that's a sign of trust from the coach and the confidence in which you're playing with. And Padres come out here and he's showing that tonight.
4th foul for Young on that last possession. And the 13th foul for Canada. Rojas inside, Batista trying to carve out some space. Couple pump fakes and got 2 to go. Knotted at 74. Belhanes. Gray relocates. He'll tee up the 3. Kadre Gray knocking it down. Give him 13. Ball gives it away. And Henry Blair had a notion to throw it away, but he said, let's slow it down and run a set. Gray feeling it. Keeps the dribble alive and finds Banton. Plenty of time on the shot clock for Canada to work with. He wants a screen. He's going to get one from Gray. It's Gray with 3 to shoot now. Step back 3 on the way. Can't get it to go. Belhanes with another offensive rebound. Timely for Trey Belhanes. It's his 4th rebound in the game. Hasn't scored a point, but giving you those energy plays. Banton to the 10. Young with the tap. Can't get it to go, and Uruguay escape unharmed. Still down 3. Rodriguez looked at the rim. Young playing with 4 fouls, did a good job of moving his feet, and then stole the ball. Under a minute to play. Canada with Henry Blair in the front court. Belhanes now says, calm down, let's run something. 10 to shoot for Belhanes. Crossing over, Belhanes to the rim, and he's fouled. He'll go to the line.
step there, just smart stepping into the defense, just cutting the defense off and drawing the foul there. Just Trey Bell Haynes, savvy guard, been pretty quiet tonight, like you mentioned, but again, 37 seconds left, timely foul, get yourself to the free throw line, see 2 go down, set up your defense, but just a savvy and the awareness to know that, okay, the defense, you have the advantage, defense is trailing you. I'm going to step across the defense, step into the way of the defense, not allowing them to recover.
Those 2 free throws were the first 2 points of the night for Trey Bell Haynes in 22 minutes. Up until that point, all he had to show for his efforts were 4 rebounds and 3 assists. Now he can say he scratched here, and it gives Canada a 5-point lead. Timeout on the floor with 37.3 to play. And we'll listen to Coach Magnato and the Uruguay huddle. Cadre Gray has been incredible this evening for Canada. Here's a couple of his highlight plays. 13 points off the bench, been a plus 20 for Canada in 22 minutes. Now trying to clamp down on Canada's first victory here at the AmeriCup in Brazil. Ubal driving, and he's fouled by Banton. That'll be 2 foul shots for Ubal. It's the first time we saw an aggressive play from Agustin Ubal. And it earns him a trip to the foul line.
I think that's where you're seeing the youth in him, or the immaturity, is that, you know, the inconsistency in his minutes today has obviously impacted him, right? And like you mentioned, not as aggressive as we've seen him yesterday. And those are, you know, growing pains. Those are some of the things where you have to understand whether you play 4 minutes, 5 minutes, or 25 minutes, how do you impact the game, right? Because your role changes from game to game. Your role can change from team to team, or, you know, different things happen, different situations arise. And you have to be able to find ways to show your coach, one, that you should be on the court, but 2, in the smallest, slimmest amount of minutes, have an impact.
Bangs home both free throws, and it is a 3-point game. 1 second difference between shot and game clock. Canada has to get it in cleanly, and they do. And Trey Bell Haynes is fouled by Ceres. TBH will look to toe the line, try to close this out. Well, the crowd filing in for our next game, which is expected to be a sellout, Brazil and Colombia. Still plenty to tie up here, as Canada looking to put the finishing touches on what would be a comeback win on Uruguay. They were down by as many as 10. We've had 10 lead changes in the game. Canada holding on to the only one that matters at the moment, as TBH has been ice cold at the line, cold-blooded, that is, at the line. 4 of 4, all 4 of the last 4 points for Canada, as they look to try and close out this win. Timeout on the floor, 24.1 remaining in the game. Canada 81, Uruguay 76. Feels like Uruguay need a 3 here to give them some life as we look at Delano Banton's stats. Again, stuff in the stat sheet for Team Canada. Let's see what Coach Magnano drew up. Plenty of shooters on the floor for Uruguay. Parodi, Ubal, Rodriguez, who has a rock right now, Pena, and Ceres. Rodriguez right to the rim. Did a good job of keeping possession as it was poked out of his hands. And the scores table buzzing in as Trey Bell Haynes wanted to sub in before the inbound. We'll have to put some time back on the clock here, which is what Coach Magnano was arguing about at the scores table. Right now we see 18.5 seconds in the arena. Rodriguez made his move quickly and didn't take up too much time. And Uruguay trying to extend this game. So after the discussion at the scores table, it appears the clock is correct. 18.5. And another bench warning by the officials to Uruguay who are complaining about the clock issue here. Ray Gray being trusted to inbound the ball here in a tough situation. Finds Henry Blair, who dribbles up front court. Young, that's who Uruguay probably wants to foul with the 5 on the floor. Young with some important free throws to knock down with 12 seconds remaining in the game. Uruguay still complaining about the clock right now, but their arguments are falling on deaf ears as Bell Haynes will sub out, Pandy back into the game for Canada. A little offense for defense and defense for offense between those two. Young misses the first.
That was the dangerous part about that play, getting it over half, but at the same time, giving it to Young to be the release man. All right, you're still not the best free throw shooter. Knocks down, that's a big one right there.
Rodriguez again drives the lane, lays it up, missed it this time. Pandy cleans it up, and Banton will run away as the game comes to an end, and Rodriguez gets called for the unsportsmanlike. Did not make a play on the ball, just kind of swatted at the back of Banton. So Canada will get the victory. Banton will go to the line to pad his stats here. As Rodriguez gets tagged with the unsportsmanlike. 2 shots and the ball for the Canadians. of talk in Canada about ending a game on the free throw line. They'll end this one, Javon. A little bit happier circumstances for the entire country. As we take a look at the official review, let's listen in to the officials as they look through this unsportsmanlike. Referees aren't mic'd up this time around, but what they're looking at is the time remaining in the game. To the naked eye, it looked as though it was about 0.6 or 0.5 seconds. Here it is. Might even be a little bit more. So as the officials sort this out, I'll remind you that the final game of the day coming up, the host Brazil will take on Colombia. Both teams victorious in their first game. Colombia beating Uruguay, coming back from behind to beat Uruguay. A 16-0 run in the fourth quarter sparked that victory. Now we have Canada avenging their loss. Shot horribly from three-point range, 11% to be exact, from three-point range in a loss to Brazil. They're able to find the touch tonight, shooting 40% from deep. And they are seconds away from claiming their first win here in Brazil. As Alana Banton with the lane cleared and 1.2 seconds on the clock knocks down another free throw.
And you mentioned it, right? Not ending a game on free throws. We look at a lot of these guys that are on Canada's team. They play in Canada's domestic league. You know, all of them have experience in Canada's CEBL domestic league except Banton. And you're chuckling, you're laughing about ending a game on free throws. Well, these guys have the experience with the Elam ending over there. And, you know, this is their game. But great win. And you credit that to guys like Cadre Gray that's going to inbound the ball right here. The fact that he stepped up, and it wasn't even about his offense, right? His intensity on the defensive side, his energy. And Javon Blair that came in and he just, you know, he put up a couple shots early that knocked down, and things started to open up for him. And like you mentioned, had a poor shooting night yesterday, but you mentioned it, that stuff is contagious, right? You knock down one, you knock down two, that basket starts to open up for everybody.
84-78, your final score. Canada takes their first win here in Brazil. Well, Canada gets in the win column, and that forces Uruguay to be in a somewhat of a must-win situation against the host Brazil. They get the off day Sunday locally. Play on Monday night in front of what will be a raucous crowd to try and get their first win year in group play. Canada, after losing to Brazil, avenged that loss, shot the ball much better from the field. Got some great play out of that man, number 5 right there, Cadre Gray. Came off the bench and really sparked this victory.
You see the smiles there, right? Just knowing how impacted the game, and you see some of the numbers here from Canada, 55%. And the number that really sticks out to me is that the free throws, 22 attempts, and just able to get to the line and showing some aggression there. 32 rebounds to Uruguay's 26. And then your leading scorers, right? Blair stepped up with 23. Rodriguez had his 21, hit some big shots, but Banton 18, and then, you know, Cadre's 13, right? Those 13 felt like a big 20 because there were some timely shots. You remember one at the elbow there, on the right side of the elbow in front of us. Just really put the game away.
Here are the best plays from the game that saw Canada win 84-78 over Uruguay. You'll see a lot of highlights for that man right there, Rodriguez, who led the way for Uruguay, giving them 21 points, 6 assists. Bautista at 16 and 4. That tandem not enough to overcome Canada. That saw Delano Banton fill up the stat sheet with 18 points, 6 assists, 5 boards. Gray with 13 off the bench. And Javon Henry Blair led the way with 23 big ones. Went 50% from three-point range. A small shout out for Thomas Kennedy as well. 9 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. He had the big task of having to deal with Esteban Bautista. I think he passed with flying colors. Was able to provide a little bit of energy for Canada.
And you talk about depth, right? 44 points off of Canada's bench, right? They outperformed the starters tonight. And I think that's huge when you talk about guys that are coming in and keeping that same level of intensity. There you see guys on the bench there just encouraging and clapping on, but that's big time, right? To have that step up, to have, especially in a tournament like this when games are coming quick, guys are cramping up, gives you an opportunity as a coach to relieve some guys, get some valuable minutes, some strong minutes, some guys coming off your bench, and not have any drop off. And there it is, that man right there. That was a bad man tonight. Javon Blair stepping up, knocking down shots, making big plays.
Well, Canada gets their first win here in Group A action, 84-78, defeating Uruguay. They will be off tomorrow and then play on Monday local time, and they'll take on Colombia. Uruguay will be off as well tomorrow and resume action against the host Brazil, looking for their first win in Group A. Brazil and Colombia coming up in just over 45 minutes time here. But right now, we'll look at the standings in Group A. Canada with the win now jump on top. But the winner of our next game, Colombia and Brazil, will end the night in first place in Group A. We'll be back for that one a little later on. Thanks for joining us here. We'll see you shortly. The FIBA AmeriCup here in Brazil.